I just don't believe that we've run into any people who are finer people.
They are very driven to help others.
They gave up their lives for us.
They live what they believe.
And they're a great 1-2 combination.
They just keep going.
I can't think of anybody who's more deserving of this award than Lydia and Dan.
I was very blessed. I grew up in a home filled with love and faith and just happy. My grandfather and father were very visible, very public, and did so much for so many. However, the real people that formed the character and the heart and soul of this family were my grandmother, Rose Hager, who really set the tone. And then my mother, Isabel Hager. She has the biggest heart. She was always there for us as a family, and we knew we could count on her. And while all of those blessings were a part of our lives, we were also taught that we are very fortunate and that we have a responsibility, and part of our nature is to help those who don't have those same blessings and opportunities. I was fortunate then to go to Ursuline, and at Ursuline I learned Serviam,
Latin for I will serve, and I don't think anyone more beautifully represents that motto than Lydia.
I grew up in Cincinnati, which is a northern suburb of Dallas. And then when I got to high school, there were some choices, and a young coach named Jerry Faust was just probably in his third year at Moeller, and I got involved in his football program and of course the Moeller education, and the path forward became very clear. Football could be a way to get to college because we had to figure that out. That really transformed my life.
You know, I think none of this would be possible without Coach Faust, because he convinced my dad to come to Moeller, which in turn got him the opportunity at Notre Dame, which in turn got him the opportunity to be a lawyer, which in turn, you know, that's how he met my mother. So we all wouldn't be sitting here if someone like Coach Faust wasn't in the picture.
I certainly knew of Dan's name before I met Dan, knowing that he had played in 2 Cotton Bowls in 70 and 71. And he was also the center for Joe Theismann.
From Ursuline, I was, again, fortunate to go to St. Mary's College at Notre Dame, where there's 7 guys to every girl. He finds himself this lonely football player, big star from Moeller at Notre Dame as a freshman. So after sophomore year, we pretty much dated the whole time.
Coach bailed me out, so he put me on his staff as a graduate assistant and paid for my law school. And Lydia joined me in South Bend, fortunately.
I really met Dan through my husband, who first interviewed Dan to go to Notre Dame Law School. And my husband was so impressed with this young man.
And so then we were here for about a year, and then we got married. Then we had Isabel and Daniel, and you know, kind of the rest of it is here we are today.
The first time I met Lydia was when she was a teacher at Ursuline. I was a student, and she was really well liked. We thought she was fun. We knew she was smart.
We started off at Ursuline Academy here in Dallas as students, and we even went back after college and taught there as teachers.
The most important things in our life are faith and family. And, you know, we've got 2 beautiful children, 3 beautiful granddaughters.
We're very proud of them. They are both forging their own paths in their own ways, while at the same time carrying on the legacies that have been handed down from generation to generation. And our hope is that that continues with their families.
My heroes growing up, you know, I want to be just like my dad, probably more so than anybody, because he played at Notre Dame, and that's what I wanted to do ever since I was a little kid.
Our parents were always at everything and involved, just a perfect childhood. However, it makes it tough to try and replicate something so perfect and so ideal.
Impossible, I would say, is probably the right word.
So I started really in the junior league, but I saw a whole different world than I had known before. So the junior league really was a launching point for me in terms of service.
I'm chairing a luncheon with my mom as my co-chair, so that's really fun, and obviously following in her footsteps in junior league.
I was told by the University of Notre Dame that there was a family that was going to be contacting me, and they would sort of be my liaisons or whatever in Dallas. And so it's pretty interesting when we met Lydia and met Dan.
They've known him and they've watched him grow up.
I mean, anytime you can have an alumni like Dan Novakov to sort of vouch for you is a big deal.
Well, I met Dan in the Salesmanship Club in 2001. And it just so happened that I was on the membership committee that year. And we contacted 50 of his friends and business associates and family members and couldn't find one person to say anything bad about Dan. And finally, we just sort of threw up our hands and said, it's like this guy is perfect.
So Lydia has served Ursuline beautifully as a teacher, as president of the alumni board, as trustee, as chair of the trusteeship committee, as executive committee member, all in service to her high school, which is truly remarkable.
She chaired the 50th anniversary Crystal Charity Ball, and which was a huge undertaking, and it couldn't have been more perfect.
I'd been here in Dallas, I guess, a minute and a half in 2012 when she immediately started connecting me to folks that who I could learn from, but also who I just needed to know.
Lydia could be running a Fortune 500 company. She's so capable.
I asked Dan to help me to put together a group of people who would do a very in-depth study of the situation of our schools. And that he did in an exemplary way.
The bishop charged us to study the existing 28 elementary schools and 3 diocesan schools. And he challenged us to create a blueprint for the future. And we worked for almost 4 years together. So it was a lot of sacrifice on his part, but Dan is very passionate about Catholic education.
Then he came up with this idea of a capital campaign.
And Lydia and Dan were the co-chairs, along with the Templetons and the Longwells, of the leadership committee. And the professional fundraisers had told us that our ambitious goal of $125 million was not doable. But under their combined leadership, not only did they meet the goal, but they exceeded it.
And you just have to give a lot of the credit to Dan and Lydia. They bring energy, they bring great passion, and it really becomes very contagious for everybody involved.
So it really gave us a base that now we're building on under Bishop Burns going forward.
While we were involved in the strategic planning process, Dan was also a member of the Cotton Bowl Committee.
I think it was the first year of the BCS championships. Dan was real involved with the Cotton Bowl. I still remember seeing Dan on the field at halftime on television.
And in fact, I remember one night texting him saying, "Hey, you looked great on national TV."
He was a player in 70 and 71 for Notre Dame. He was our chairman. He was a vice chairman. He was the chair of our audit committee. He's been the chair of our nominating committee. He's been our legal counsel for over a decade.
I was most fortunate to be asked to serve on the Catholic Foundation board. And that was an experience that I will treasure always, and still involved on the advisory council.
She led the effort for the 50th anniversary celebration of the foundation, which was a lot of planning, which she led for 2 years. She was very instrumental in getting our guest speaker, which happened to be Regis Philbin.
And Regis just entertained and brought everybody to their feet.
And then one of the things she did arrange was a dinner at Roger and Marianne Staubach's home. And so after dinner, we went out into the driveway and shot baskets. And Roger and Regis got into a little bit of a shooting contest.
We've done nothing but grow since then. Ed and then Matt and Cheryl. It's phenomenal what they have done.
You know, Dan is just one of those people that you feel like you've known forever as soon as you know him.
Everybody has to have that guy, you know, and to me, Dan Novakov is that guy.
He's a man of such great integrity, competence, and compassion, and you could always trust him.
Meticulous.
Yeah, meticulous is a good word for it.
It's like he wouldn't let us play with our new toys until we read the instructions and the directions.
Never a hair out of place.
No one reflects the Christian ideals and standards of Ursuline more than Lydia.
She always puts others' needs before her own.
No one can say no to Lydia. She is just that person that you want to work with.
And I truly think she makes me a better person just being around her.
Lydia's footprint is all over the city in the organizations that she's been involved in.
She is everywhere. There must be two of her.
Lydia is a great networker and a great connector. She seemed to know everybody in town.
She is the genealogist of Dallas philanthropy.
Whenever I was invited to lunch with Lydia and with Mary Templeton, I knew I was going to hear the truth about some matter. I knew they were going to tell me what I needed to do and what I did not need to do.
They're just so much fun to be with, so relaxed, and at the same time, it's so impressive to see the work they do around the Dallas area.
To me, they've been such a great example of what a husband and a wife partnership should be.
I mean, they really are a team.
They're both so very humble. You know, they just give, and you don't even know what they've given, they just give.
It's a marathon for them. It's not a 100-meter sprint. They've been running this race, you know, since I can remember, and they haven't stopped, and they haven't taken a break.
What I see in them is a consistency, that they are today who they've always been.
The Catholic Foundation has been trying to give them this award for many years, and I think they finally realized that we were just going to keep asking them until they finally gave in, and we're so glad that they did.
I realized that what some of these people and organizations need is they just need a voice. So the way I always thought of the fundraising is that you're telling somebody's story who otherwise wouldn't be heard.
It's making a difference, and that's what life's about, making life better for others.
They have found it in their hearts to make sure that they give back, and I just think that's a beautiful thing.
My grandfather, my mom's dad, used to always say that you can't have a catcher's mitt on both hands. You have to be able to throw something back.
The city of Dallas and the Catholic community have been immeasurably enriched for so many years to come by all that Lydia and Dan have done.
But they do it very quietly. They don't make a big deal out of it.
Dallas would be a complete different city without them.
We're just one organization that they are, involved with, and I know how much time that they give to us.
I will never forget the many hours, the untold hours that you all put into making our schools and our capital campaign a great success.
Congratulations, Dan and Lydia. We are so excited for you, so deserving of this honor.
Great congratulations to you, Lydia and Dan.
You are such an inspiration for all of us.
You make things happen. Congratulations.
Thank you for being great friends to Mary and I.
I am so proud of you, and I treasure our friendship.
You're the best couple we know.
Congratulations, Mom and Dad.
I'm going to outdo my sister. Congratulations, Mom and Dad. Nobody's more deserving of this award than you guys.
Congratulations, Lily and Dee. We love you.